way we see it is the security approach in content has been changing over the years. I mean, we've all been witnessing the streaming wars, what that means also in terms of security. We've all been observing on how the world has been going. And it's become very evident that while you still need to continue to protect your content, you need to protect many other aspects around the content. And this, this brings us to the whole world about the players, the secure players, how you make wrappers around that, and that also brings cybersecurity into this topic. So in Verimatrix, we've been working in cybersecurity for more than 15 years in the previous Inside Secure company. Working with the what I call the typical cybersecurity verticals, which is banking, automotive, healthcare, and what we have been trying to do successfully is in the past years we've brought cybersecurity into the content world. What does this mean? It means that, or not before what it means, why do we do it? So first of all is when content security started 30 years ago, it was all about how can you make sure that your customers are paying for the bill. Since then, it has evolved to how do you make sure that no one is stealing your content. And the devices where we have been watching TV have been changing. So everything started with set-top box, and then it started moving to mobile devices, smart TVs, and now there's this spread out of apps that we all have in our phones. So we all have, I don't know how many you have, but I think 100 apps in the phone easily. I've never counted, but easily it's that number. And what is very clear, and that's where Verimatrix is very strong, is on the endpoint security in the app. It's like if you have protected all your house with a very good alarm system, and you've somehow forgot one of the doors, and the door is the app. So what we have been doing is we've been taking the experience we had inside security on the typical cybersecurity verticals, bringing it to the content world. And what we have been observing is that while maybe 2 years ago, there was very little people paying attention in the content world about what's happening with the app, with the security of the app, how do you wrap it to make sure that there's no problems there. Now it's becoming a stressing topic. So we have more and more of our customers asking on how they can protect their app. For those that are not really aware of the problematic, when we explain the problematic, it's very clear on why the problematic exists, that the need is there, and that we need to secure it. And this is what we're doing. You're really bringing this cybersecurity world into the content world, because we do believe that's the right thing to do for our customers. You mentioned about zero code. So this is what about our technology is about. It's about zero code. So there's no SDKs, there's no plugins. It's really something that it's a technology that we use to, once the application is done, completed, we just wrap it with our own security, which is zero code. So it's a very quick protection that we do in terms of the impact in the whole development cycles of our customers. And that has a lot of value, because every time that you need to interact with the development cycle of your customer, it just adds one more step on your customer's development cycle, and that's always a burden. So we've really taken ourselves out of the development cycle, and we just come on top of that. The other thing which is important that I would like to refer is that you mentioned about the content encryption, which is the DRM in this OTT world of the apps, and this product we call it XTD, Extended Threat Defense. we almost want to say that why do you need a DRM if you don't protect your app? Because in the end, as you were saying, once you have decrypted the content is in your app. And besides the content, you have other things in the app. You have usernames, you have passwords, you have IP addresses, that if you don't protect that as well, then you're giving away a very easy way in for the pirate to hack your app and get that information. And the pirate can hack in order to have access to content, but he can also hack it to have access to usernames and passwords, and through that get into the customer's network. There's another thing which is important, which is pirates and hackers, they don't come up with new attacks every single day. They copy paste from one place to another. And this is, it's human nature, I would say. If someone has done it before, why should you make it up? And the reality is that you can use these attacks for a long time with small tricks. So today, if you do not protect your app, you're right, it is rather easy to hack it. Rather easy, for experts, I would say. Probably not for me, for sure. I don't know, maybe you are a hacker in your free time, but for people that are used to doing these kind of things, it's rather easy to emulate the app. It's rather easy to be able to with the open source tools in the internet, be able to hack the system and get that information. So it is rather easy to do it, and this is why we say so. Coming back to the example of the alarm system, you've put an alarm system all around your system. You have probably cybersecurity tools in your servers, in your network. You have the content protection. You have a secure player. You've done all the things, and then you've left this door open. And it is possible to get through there. So we really want to take this to the wider spectrum. And why would you have a DRM if you don't protect your app? If it wasn't for the tick in the box for the content providers, we could even say, why do you need it? Because what you really need is you need all these layers of protections, but you do need this final one, which wraps the endpoint. It's called the endpoint security of the whole system, to make sure that you have everything you need. We have as our customers the biggest brands in banks in the world. And as you say, they have no concern about content. They're only concerned about personal data. They're only concerned about how are the users using the apps to be able to do home banking and things like that. So it's very sensitive information. We're also working with the automotive industry, in which we are protecting the apps that control the cars. Super critical, right? You cannot be in a situation that someone else is using your app to open your car. We're working with companies that have home appliances, so fridges and air conditionings, and how to control that remotely. And these companies, they have no concern about content. They don't have content. They only have this communication that they need to secure. And we have a lot of experience. We've been working with this type of companies for many years. And the step forward that we have launched recently is the ability to monitor all of these devices. So in security, you have, I would say, the first level of security, which is you protect something, it's protected. But then you need to think that, nothing is protected forever. You need to keep on looking on what's going on, because, the pirates and the hackers will be always trying to circumvent your security. So in order for you to be able to do that, you need to monitor what's going on in your environment, and in this case we're talking about the app, but it could be a larger environment, and understand what are the threats that that environment is getting. And by that you can predict, that's this third level, you can actually predict what's going to happen, and because you can predict, then you can prevent hackers from attacking. Going back, I was saying before that what we see in attacks, it's all about a copy paste of things that have been done in the world. The fact that today we are already monitoring many millions of devices allows us to start seeing very interesting things. So we can see a trend of an attack that is being done in Asia, for example, in a bank. And we already know that most probably we will be able to start seeing it in Europe or in the US. And that allows us to be in a position to recommend to our customers. First of all, it allows us to be attentive, because we know this is happening in this place. We know that there's this usability of the hacking that can be done. So we can be attentive to what's going to happen in the different places. So as soon as any sign starts to come up, we will be able to react. But more than reacting, the big thing is you never have to react, is you prevent all the time. So we can start giving warnings to our customers saying, listen, we are seeing this in this place. We don't see it in your place, but we think that this is something that we need to be paying attention. And sometimes the solution to solve that situation will come from the use of our own products in Verimatrix, and sometimes will not come from us, will be something else that we are spotting and saying, listen, this needs to be corrected. And then they will have to discuss with their relevant partners and suppliers for resolving that. But it's very powerful. And the more devices we have connected to our platform, the more knowledge we have, and the more we can be on the prevention side as opposed to be in the reaction side. It's a software as a service solution. It's fully in the cloud, and it's very quick to implement. So I was saying it's a zero code technology. What does it mean? It means that the customer, so we have a platform where everything happens. The customer has access to the platform. As soon as a customer signs into the platform, we will deliver the libraries that allows for this zero code protection to happen. We protect the app. We deliver the app back to the customer, which happens very quickly. And then so it's less than a day. Okay. And then it is working. And then what starts happening is the customer and ourselves, we have access to the dashboard, so we can see everything. Each customer can only see its own relevant dashboard, of course. And as soon as the devices start connecting to the platform, we start seeing what's happening. And then we have, dashboards with alarms and alerts, and it ends up being also a quite, I don't want to call it manual, because it's not manual, but it is a consultative analysis that needs to be made. So we cannot rely only on alarms and have a reaction on the alarm without understanding the consequences. So I can give you an example, which is, if we would see with some customers, what we have predefined reactions to things we're seeing. So if we see that, for example, there's something happening that is stealing users and passwords, with some customers we have they're pre-okay to close it because it's critical, right? In some other cases, it requires a conversation, because you might have something that is happening on the app that is in the interest of the commercial team of the customer, but it's not on the interest of the IT team of the company. So there's something that needs a conversation about the topic. But the beauty of exactly having all those dashboards that then are available to the customers is that you see in real time what's going on. We also have a service that we are launching, which is a managed service. So coming back to the models on how this works. So we have the service, the software as a service for the technology part. And then we also have a managed services for our customers that for any reason do not want to be the ones looking at the dashboards. So we are looking at the dashboards for them. We are assessing, we are recommending what to do next. So it's really the product, the technology, and in parallel, we have the services that are going with that technology and product. I would say that that's one of the beauties of this technology, is that it is totally agnostic to whatever the customer has deployed already. And this in the content security world is very important, because we all know that most of the content security companies have always linked their products together. So you can only have one if you have the other. In our case, we have completely decorrelated both. So you can be using whatever DRM you want to use and still have app protection technology from Verimatrix in there. It's not linked. Of course, that if you want to then move to our DRM technology, we're super happy with that, but it is not a mandatory requirement. And I think this comes again from our cybersecurity background. And I think this is one of the big added values that that Verimatrix is right now bringing to the market, which is we bring all of this experience in video content security that we've had in IPTV and in OTT and also in DVB. We bring the cybersecurity experience that we have from the Inside Secure times, and we put it together without jeopardizing one or the other. You know, sometimes there's a tendency to forget about the best practices from one of the other because one is stronger than the other in terms of company branding or company strategy. And what we've tried to do is precisely keep both very much alive as with their good practices, and see what are the things we can actually take from one to another and benefit our customers with that. In Verimatrix, we were born in developing solutions for IPTV solutions. We then evolved for DVB, and today we have big deployments in India, for example. We have big deployments in Latin America with DVB. So it's really, you know, it's and I know that we're not very well known by having solutions in DVB, but it's there and it's deployed in millions and millions and millions of set-top boxes. I'll also take it and make a link to our discussion about cybersecurity. So one of the things that we have done already is we have taken the protection of the app and we've done it in the set-top box, precisely with this thought. You're right. I mean, most of the world is on multicast. Most of the world is still on set-top boxes, to be seen until when, but we all know that the big screen is still out there and it will be there for a long, long, long time. And there's a big trend of shift from the into the Android set-top boxes. So what we've done is we've plugged the XTD technology into the set-top box. And why? Because the same way we are protecting the app in the mobile devices or in a smart TV, we also need to do that in the set-top box. And the set-top box is a bit of a more complex animal than a normal app, for all the reasons that we all know about that technology. But that's something we've done, and that allows us to really be in every single types of technology. So it's the IPTV, it's the DRM, it's DVB. We can be in open devices, smart TVs, in set-top boxes, having this two mindsets: the video content security and the cyber security.